Trade tariffs sweep across nations. The Trump administration announced sweeping new tariffs to take effect August 7th. Imports from 66 countries, including 35% on Canadian goods and 15% across EU and multiple trade partners, are set to hit global markets hard. Analysts warn of inflation pressures and supply chain disruption. Investors responded with sharp market corrections today. U.S.-Russia military tension rises. Following inflammatory comments from former Russian President Medvedev, President Trump ordered deployment of 2 U.S. nuclear submarines to strategic waters. Gaza humanitarian disaster intensifies. Over 110 Palestinians were killed today while attempting to access aid along aid corridors. The death toll since hostilities began has topped 60,000. International organizations are describing famine-like conditions, and countries like Canada, France, and the UK are preparing formal recognition of Palestinian statehood. Trade talks with China progressing. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent signaled optimism, saying negotiators see the makings of a deal with China ahead of a key August 12th deadline. Talks continue on tariffs and sensitive tech access. Markets are watching closely. Labor unrest in Peru heats up. In Peru, 20,000 informal miners suspended talks with the government over formalization policies and deadlines, threatening protests if no resolution emerges. The move disrupts mining-dependent regions and adds to political volatility. Kuril Islands quake triggers tsunami alert. A 6.2 magnitude earthquake struck Russia's Kuril Islands just days after an 8.8 tremor off Kamchatka. Tsunami warnings were issued but were lifted after no waves formed. Evacuation of over 3 million people, including Hawaiian Islands, prevented casualties, showcasing crisis preparedness. Germany sends defense aid to Ukraine. Germany has agreed to deliver 2 Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine in coordination with the U.S., enhancing Kyiv's ability to intercept threats as Russia intensifies aerial attacks. U.S. Federal Reserve transition. Federal Reserve Governor Adriana Kugler announced she will resign on August 8th, ahead of her scheduled term end. Her early departure opens space for a Trump appointee and adds uncertainty ahead of U.S. inflation and rate decisions. Scandal and legal developments. In Mali, ex-Prime Minister Moussa Mara was detained and charged for a social media post criticizing the shrinking democratic space under military rule. Meanwhile, EU's top court ruled Volkswagen remains liable in defeat device cases even if emissions testing standards were met. Compensation to buyers may still be required. Political protests in U.S. Protests under the banner Rage Against the Regime are scheduled across U.S. cities today, with tens of thousands expected to rally against President Trump's policies, including his firing of the Bureau of Labor Statistics Commissioner. Critics say the move undermines trust in official data. Space and SummerSlam Culture Snapshot. NASA's Crew 11 mission aboard SpaceX Dragon is scheduled to dock at the ISS early today. And in cultural news, WWE's SummerSlam 2025 begins at MetLife Stadium tonight, hosted by Cardi B, featuring CM Punk vs. Gunther, and the first 2-night SummerSlam in history. Overall outlook: the convergence of trade shocks, humanitarian crisis, geopolitical military posturing, and natural disasters marks this day as a flashpoint. From Gaza to the Pacific, U.S. to China, global instability is the key theme as world leaders navigate escalation, reform, and diplomacy. Outro, that's your global briefing for August 2nd, 2025. Thanks for watching ASTA. Subscribe for informed clarity every day.